Let's move on now. Let's talk about the Accra-Tema Motorway constructed with the intention of improving transportation in Ghana and connecting it to neighboring West African countries. However, it has become a death trap due to potholes and non-functioning street lights, making travel a difficulty and a dangerous experience for thousands who use that road daily. Of course, we are bringing you a report capturing the situation on that stretch, captured by my colleague Michael Ashalo.
The Accra-Tema stretch of the N1 highway, also known as the Accra-Tema Motorway, is a crucial link for Ghana and the West African sub-region. The road connects Ghana to other countries such as Nigeria, Benin, Burkina Faso and the Ivory Coast, and is a major route for Ghana's exports to the sub-region. However, this stretch of the N1 highway is becoming increasingly dangerous due to poor road maintenance. The highway was opened to traffic in November 1965, a concrete highway which was built to speed traffic between Accra and the nearby port and industrial town of Tema. The express highway is not riddled with gaping potholes and drivers are fed up.
More than this.
Death trap. It's too much. You have to really come and construct the road. It's a death trap.
Right.
Because look at it, you can't call these potholes. So you can't call these potholes. And we pay a tax, so they have to come and resolve it for us.
The motorway is notoriously known for some of the heart-wrenching accidents in the country, and the road is getting more dangerous by the day.
My name is Noah Tekpe. The road is very, very bad. We are suffering in this road because they are not doing the maintenance. I'm passing here every day. The potholes and the things is very bad. So we are begging the president so that they fix the road for we. We are suffering in this motorway.
The speed limit on the motorway is 100 kilometers per hour. With the potholes, drivers are forced to slow down to avoid destroying their vehicles. In the process, they create congestion on the road.
Charlie, the traffic is too much on the motorway. Right, yeah. No, there's a lot of potholes on the way, so you have to do something about it.
These potholes are not only an inconvenience for drivers, but for passengers as well.
Sabi, I can't wait so I pay for fast so I are for fast so ministers in MPs in fast so.
Nearly everyone uses the road, including those going to health facilities, pregnant women and workers.
So, now we should send a motor from here to Accra. So bad. Waste problem.
The road is terrible. I sometimes have waist pains. It's either I'm in a long traffic or jumping into potholes, and no one seems to care. It should be fixed.
But at the end of the day, you won't benefit to also.
At night, the motorway is plunged into total darkness. On our drive up and down the entire stretch of the motorway, we observe that but for a few areas, the entire motorway is without light, even though there are street lights along the stretch. More than half of all the street lights are not functional. Some are without their cables, whereas others are without bulbs. Drivers will not see the danger lurking in the corner until it's too late. Since 2009, there have been more than 10 promises to rehabilitate or expand the motorway. From Amidu Amin Sulemana,
we have to do an engineering studies on the road and see possibly what it will cost. And the public-private partnership, there are a lot of things studies that you must do.
To former Roads Minister Joe Gidisu, and even former President John Dramani Mahama.
If we achieve a huge expansion of Tema Port and we have a constraint of the roads leading to the port, then we would virtually have done nothing. And so the combination of the road to the expansion of the port is something that I appreciate very much.
The MPP government promised to expand the road to 10 lanes.
Mr. Speaker, under the Ministry of Roads and Highways Public-Private Partnership Program for Road Infrastructure, the design, build, finance, operate, and maintain Accra-Tema Motorway and Extension PPP project 27.7 kilometers is at the procurement stage. Site work is expected to commence in September 2022.
Kwesi Amwakwata, under the Akufo-Addo-led government, said the reconstruction was going to start in November 2021.
Any moment from now, because we are at the concluding ends of it, and we are going to turn the motorway into 6 lanes. We are going to have almost 4 interchanges on it, and if you add other service lanes and slip roads, some areas will go up to 10 lanes.
It didn't. He promised the reconstruction will commence August 2022.
Those who do not know what is happening here should keep quiet. Those who do not know what is happening here should keep quiet, okay? And we are starting, this year.
Again, they missed that. Now, it is uncertain when the reconstruction will start. There have been attempts in the past to fix portions of the express highway. Although the motorway was made with concrete slabs, bitumen was used to patch some of the potholes.
And the fixing should be permanent fixing, not something temporary. Okay, it's fixed today, the next time it develops another potholes again.
Sadly, these temporary fixes have only worsened the problem. The bitumen patches are now looking like corrugated sheets because of pressure from the vehicles and the heat from the blazing sun. And vehicles can't help but wiggle. The lack of proper maintenance on the Accra-Tema Motorway is a major concern for both commercial and personal vehicle users. The once pride and joy of the country has now become a road of shame. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
And I need to point out that we've been talking about this for quite some time now, but let's speak some more about it. Henry Asumeni, Senior Manager, Planning and Programs Directorate Officer at the National Road Safety Authority. Thank you, sir, for your time. Also joining us is Samuel Amoah, his spokesperson for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Mr. Asumeni, I first of all want to find out if there's any document talking about the assessment of safety on that piece of stretch that most persons commuting to Accra from Tema and its environs normally use. What's the report on this, the safety status on the Accra-Tema Motorway? Kindly unmute for me, sir, so I can hear the point you're making.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
to our viewers.
Now I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Yes, we all know the state of the Accra motorway, if we can still call it a motorway, because we all know when it comes to road classifications, we know what a motorway is. This has it's no more a motorway. It is just a road linking two cities, and the road in the state in which it is not safe. That one has been attested and agreed by everybody. But what we would also tell commuters is that although the road has become is in a bad state, we say safety starts with you. So whenever you are using the road, you use the road in a way that you still keep safe on the roads. Yes, a safety assessment has been done over the years on the motorway, and we see that the motorway keeps on deteriorating. And it is in line with this that the Ministry of Roads and Highways made it a priority for the rehabilitation and actually the redesigning. It's actually a redesigning of the Accra-Tema Motorway. And this is something that, as we all heard, the minister has been talking about. Yes, he promised it would commence in 2022, but sometimes there are some procedural ways that has to go through before commencement of the actual construction. And I must say that, yes, the Ministry of Roads and Highways has the motorway as one of its, one of its main projects that is going to undertake.
And just to get a bit of clarity on the point you're making, are you then saying that you're possibly declassifying, if that's how I should use the word, or degrading? No, degrading the road network to something aside a motorway, as you're terming it to be.
What I said was that if you look at the state in which the road is now, it's not something that by definition it should be called a motorway. But the Ministry of Roads and Highways has one of its priority projects to redesign and reconstruct the Accra-Tema Motorway. And the point I was trying to make was, if you look at the road, you recognize that the redesigning of the from the Tema interchange to Aflau through the Pram, that one has started, and that is all part of the redesign and reconstruction of the Accra-Tema through that motorway.
Right.
So yes, we know the bad state in which the road is, and we know that this is a road that we have a lot of commuters from two major cities, Accra and Tema. And as I said, it's one of the priority areas of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And it is something that we would see very soon, the beginning of the construction.
Okay, hold on.
Whilst we wait for the construction, I would urge commuters to be safe on the roads. Please, as we use the road, let us not speed above 100. When you look at the road, you shouldn't be speeding up to about 70 kilometers per hour. So I would urge commuters to be extra careful when they are using the road, so that they are not involved in any crashes.
Okay, and that's precisely why I want to bring in Samuel Amwa. Just hold on for us, Henry Asomani. Because they are commercial drivers. You mostly ply these routes, and I'm sure that your members have been sending you complaints about the poor state of the road network. But you also have a responsibility, isn't it, to be responsible while driving on that stretch. So what's the take of GPRTU on this, on the nature or status of the Accra-Tema Motorway?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kofi. Let me just use this opportunity to say good afternoon to our viewers out there. Yes, the state of the motorway now, I will call it a death trap. Why am I saying that? Way back in late 90s up to early 2000, we all know the state of the motorway. That one can just tell someone, I'm going to Accra, and I can use about 10 minutes or even less just to cross the motorway. But now it's not like that. the problem started and we started complaining. Drivers who ply the motorway always complain about the state of the motorway. Now you see potholes all over. And one thing that is disturbing us is that the motorway itself was being built by a concrete. And now if they want to repair it or if they want to fix it, they use water to fix it. Now the whole thing is turning like a bomb. It's turning like a ramp on a road, of which that is not how it's supposed to be. Now, if you are driving and you are not careful, you could be involved in an accident, and it's disturbing. Now, because of this, you find a lot of traffic congestion on motorway. Formerly, people do describe Nungwa Beach Road to Accra as a place where if you want to travel to Accra and use that road, you won't get to your destination early and all that. But now, that road is even safer and even quicker than to use the motorway. The state of the motorway, every driver that plies the motorway, both private drivers and commercial drivers, they are all complaining bitterly because of the state of the motorway. When I was just listening to the Honorable Minister, saying something, I don't know if I am quoting him wrong. He was saying that those that don't know what is happening to should just keep quiet.
Samuel, we've lost you on that point.
If we don't know what is happening, we see what is happening. Since we see the way we are seeing, hello?
Yes, Samuel, if you could just take that point for us again.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, Samuel.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, and what I was saying is that we are saying what we are seeing, okay? The state is bad. The thing is disturbing us. Meanwhile, we have been paying, taxes that has to be used, to fix our roads. All that we need is to see the motorway being fixed. Myself, I do use the motorway maybe 3 times or 4 times in a week. Because I live in Tema and I do go to Accra. And using the motorway now is very, very bad. You find a whole lot of potholes all over the place. If you allow me, let's come to the issue of street light. The street light. Engineer who fixed that, who constructed that road.
Okay. We seem to be having a challenge with the connection to Samuel Amwa. I'm sure that hopefully you'll be back just to complete that point. But for you, Henry, the way forward and what motorists should be on the lookout for. Obviously, your remits don't go into the aspect of construction. But if we are to indeed do a new design and to construct, how soon will the Road Safety Authority recommend?
Okay, and thank you very much. As I said, it is one of the priority projects that the Ministry of Roads and Highways is leading. And as you can see, as I indicated, the Pond side has begun construction, and very soon we are going to see the construction of on the Tema Motorway. The redesigning would make the motorway into about a 6-lane road, which would enter into the Tema interchange. If you realize, as you enter Tema interchange, the road expands. And so that is that expansion that will come into the motorway, into the Accra-Tema interchange. But as I said, I would want to caution commuters to be patient when they are using the road, because the road, as it is in its state now, cannot be used like how it was before. So when I ask that we use the road with caution, then also when we come to the even street lights and then road furniture, yes, we should also try to be our brother's keeper. Most of the times when the road engineers put up this infrastructure, you find people stealing them deep in the night when there's no one around. So I would also urge people that these facilities are there for our safety. It is there for all of us. And so if you find somebody doing something towards a road infrastructure, please try and report the person so that action can be taken. Because these street lights were fixed. I know about 2-3 years ago there was an advocacy for street lights on the Tema Motorway, and these were fixed. But when they were lighted, it didn't even take up to a month for us to see these some of the wires and then the bulbs being taken off by thieves. So let us also try and be a brother's keeper and look out for these things. But as I said, I urge us all that as we commute the road, we should be very careful on the roads.
And this is about the third time you're repeating the point. Are you saying that because of the statistics that you have, is it the case that there's an increase in road crashes on that network?
I'm saying that because this road has been described as a death trap by most commuters. And I use the road myself, and I know the things that they are talking about, the things that you can see on the road. I use it sometimes late in the night, and I see how dark it is. But as I said, safety starts with you. You should be the first person to ensure your safety. I am not saying that because you should ensure your safety, then it means that the people who have been engaged to ensure that our roads are safe should go to sleep. We are also advocating for the roads sector to also expedite action on the redesigning and construction of the motorway so that those who commute and use the road would have a safer facility to use. But before that is done, we should make sure that we use the road in such a way that it would not bring harm to us. So that is what I want to say.
Henry Asumene, I'm grateful for your time here on The Pulse. Let me wrap up with you, Samuel Amwa. How about issuing a notice to your members to be cautious now, of course, that we know that it will take a little longer for the redesign and reconstruction to take place. What are you going to do as GPRTU, perhaps educating your members on safety?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think what we are trying to do and what we have been doing is to be talking to our drivers. Since we find out these situations, drivers that do fly the Accra-Tema Motorway, we do go to those stations. We have a team that normally go around, to educate the drivers, to remind them or to caution them as to how they will apply on the motorway, and it will not cause or it will not create any accident. So we have been doing that, and now drivers who normally goes to about 100 kilometers per hour and all that, they are no more doing that because they know you can't even go, maintain that speed while using the motorway. So we are doing that. We have been educating the drivers, about that situation. That since the road is not being fixed, they have to try as hard as they can, because if you are not careful, you will be involved in an accident and lives will be taken. So we have been educating them.
Well, we have to leave it here for now. I'm grateful, Henry Asumene and Samuel Amwa, for joining us here on The Pulse. Well, still to come here on The Pulse, Upper East Regional Minister is calling for peace as he demands an immediate halt in the firing of arms in the Boku municipality. We'll bring you details of his meeting earlier today with the Regional Security Council and some traditional rulers.
Please, let all the guns in Boko be silent.